What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Trinidad MMA, back at it again with another UFC prediction. I'm joined here with my boy Sonny Black, and we're going over UFC 276, which is going to be a magnificent fight card. 4th of July weekend.
Banger.
Banger card.
After banger, after banger, this shit is going to be the most... Stacked does not...
Though the names.
The BK
names.
Stack. You just can't even
bro.
Like, guys, this fight
is not a double stack.
From beginning to finish. I'm not talking about the main lineup.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the 5 fights in the pay-per-view that you're paying for. If you can't afford the pay-per-view, you're not a place you can watch it, but you can still watch the other fights.
Still watch the prelims.
Fucking watch that shit.
Early prelims.
Holy shit! If you're a UFC
Spit
fan,
the names out, man.
If you're guys, prelims alone. We're not going to get into reviews of the prelims.
But we're just going to call out the names.
When you have names like Brad Tavares, Jessica
Cowboy
Cerrone, Jim Miller, Bobby Green, Ian Gary,
Uriah Hall,
and guys...
Brad, what's his other dude that Izzy fucked up? Brad Tavares?
I already said Brad Tavares.
Sorry.
And guys, and originally stated... Not sure if it's going to be part of the main card now, but Brad Riddell versus Jalen Turner, which is supposed to be the main event of the prelims.
Yeah.
However, unfortunately,
Misha Tate and Jessica, what's the other
Lauren Murphy.
Lauren Murphy,
which would have been a good fight. Both
Shevchenko fought Lauren Murphy, right?
And Lauren Murphy put up a good fight for a while.
And then Misha Tate,
legend.
Yeah, legend.
So that fight got canceled.
Yeah.
But moving into
the main event, the main card.
The main card of UFC 276. Here we go. We have Pedro Munhoz, ranked number 10 overall bantamweight in the entire world.
The first ranked guy that he's fighting, right? Sean O'Malley's fighting.
Versus the Sugar Show.
The hype train.
And guys, Izzy and Volk were talking about it. Sean O'Malley's plan, I believe it works, where you fight nobodies until they pay you enough to fight as somebody. You know why they're paying you enough?
They're paying them pretty good right now.
You know why they're paying you enough? Because people want to see you. Yeah. You could headline a main event yourself. When you have that Masvidal status at that time.
He's getting paid, bro.
When you have that status, you don't need to be a champion. That Nate Diaz charm, that the Sugar Show has everything going for him.
That is true.
And if he beats Pedro Munhoz, he has solidified himself as a genuine contender. He breaks that top 10 mold.
Yeah, they're building him up pretty good.
There are a number of fights I would love to see Sean O'Malley fight.
Let's get into that fight.
Him versus Sandhagen, first off.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The two lanky white boys going at it. That shit.
Sandhagen's a motherfucker.
And these guys were cut off on with Young Sudong.
Exactly.
But guys, if we have to go with our prediction, it's never an easy thing. And by the way, you should never gamble.
Never.
Unless you have fuck around cash. But chances
Unless
are...
you got Dana White money.
Chances are, if you're watching this video, no offense,
you
don't have fuck around cash. You got better things to do, like make money.
Exactly.
So, if I had to give my prediction, if I had to bet money on it, absolutely 3-round fight. I'm going with the Sugar Show, and I don't see him finishing Pedro. Pedro is a tough motherfucker. I see it going 3 rounds of O'Malley.
Okay.
Stopping takedowns. Yeah. Number one, he's got to stuff those takedowns because they will come, and just hitting him with clean, clear strikes and more of them.
Yep.
Pedro has to beat that distance. O'Malley can stay on the outside. There's
a huge reach advantage. So I do see that, but if I do see Sugar Show winning, I believe it's going to be by knockout. He's the type of guy to try
he tried to knock out green hair. You think he's gonna knock out Pedro and he couldn't knock out the green hair dude?
The green hair, yeah, that is true. But I feel like he's trying to make a statement. So he might be looking for a knockout. Dude, but I'm not going with Sugar Show though. I have Pedro Munhoz winning this fight. I believe he's gonna put a pace on Sugar Show. He has to cover that distance, so he's gonna put a pace and he's gonna try to make this shit a grappling match. But we shall see.
And Pedro, guys,
we shall see. He's good.
Pedro, if you get that impression that Sugar's fighting a nobody, guys, this is a man who fought Cody Garbrandt at his own game.
Exactly.
He didn't play a game with him. He played Cody's game, and those two stood, swang, and banged, and he was the better man and knocked Cody Garbrandt the fuck out. People are like, oh, he hasn't won a match in a while. Who's he lost to? The champion, Aljo.
And if he stays up and try to make it a kickboxing match with Sugar, he's gonna get picked apart. That's the only way I see him winning.
And his last one, he lost to Dominic Cruz. Very close. Yeah. Great fight. However, I believe Sugar is the fire right now. He's the man. True. He is the man right now. Yeah. There's a reason why he was going to start this fight card off.
Yeah, that is true.
He might still. They might.
I feel like he's coming out to try to make a bang. He's going to try to like finish him.
Well, does he?
If he wins. Yeah.
And he doesn't. Trinidad doesn't think he will.
I doesn't think he will.
I think he will. So moving on to the next fight, guys. We have Sean Strickland, the psychopath versus Alex
Poatan Pereira, dude. Let's fucking go.
This is gonna be a tough fight to call. Good one. And I'm gonna say this:
middleweight.
I think Sean Strickland stands a very good chance of winning this fight, guys.
Yeah.
And the reason being is he's patient. He's very patient.
He's been a mixed martial artist for a lot longer.
However, patience is only granted to those who can stop and block strikes.
Yeah.
Pereira is no newbie to the game of striking. That's his bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of
bread and butter, he finishes everybody.
And I believe he has a height advantage.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. He's probably like 6'4". Strickland's probably like 6'2", 6'3".
And Strickland, people would say that he would have a ground game advantage. Guys, we don't know that. It. Oh yeah, how do we know that? Because who the fuck has Pereira been training with if not Glover Teixeira?
Turman. He's training with Turman too.
If you're training with Glover, and
your ground game is getting tested,
and you have to keep that man off you.
Your ground game is getting tested, dude.
You can stop Sean Strickland.
Yeah, exactly.
And Sean doesn't want to grapple anyway.
How heavy you think Glover is? Like 230?
More than Sean.
Yeah, a lot more than Sean. He's a big motherfucker.
I'm going with Alex because I think Alex, he will hit Sean.
Yeah.
And I think Sean, at some point, is going to take more damage than he can get out. However, I see Alex winning by decision. I do not see the fight getting finished. I see Sean Strickland not being put away. The man's crazy, insane, and I see him sticking with and giving a few moments of like, oh shit.
He's gonna make the fight hard.
He's gonna make it difficult, and it's a test that brings you to a championship fight. And Alex Pereira is gonna pass that.
Sean Strickland is not a quitter. He's gonna bring the fight.
I just really don't see either one of them. I don't see Sean Strickland first off doing enough to actually put Alex Pereira away.
Exactly.
Even if he would have had the upper hand.
Yeah. So the only way I see Sean Strickland winning this fight is if he makes it dirty and he tries to use his MMA experience.
If he has a true dominant ground game.
Yeah, he has to use his MMA experience. He has way more time in the UFC than Alex.
Yep. No way.
He should be planning tricks or little moves that Alex doesn't know to get him on the ground.
No way is he going to be screaming at Alex Pereira at the end of this fight to hit him.
Exactly.
Because Alex Pereira is not going to be behind on points.
Nope.
Alex Pereira, and you don't yell at the striker, kickboxer.
Dude, this guy, as you guys probably know, he's beaten Izzy in kickboxing twice already. Knocked him out once and then beat him by decision. Although it was a controversial decision, he still beat Izzy twice. So.
And it's fate that those two shall and will fight again. Tonight is the night. They're building him up. This fight card is the fight card that can make that.
Alex Pereira's manager said that the winner of this fight gets to fight Izzy, so it's guaranteed.
But this fight card can make or break that matchup.
Alex by decision?
I have Alex by decision.
So, like I said, the only way I see Strickland winning if he makes this a grappling match and put the pressure on Alex, he's not going to be able to pick him apart because Alex has that distance and that reach.
He's insane. He's insane. Alex knocking him out.
And then, in the striking department, Strickland is just a boxer.
Strickland is a patient boxer.
A patient boxer.
But he's going to get them kicks.
Alex is going to chop those legs.
And Uriah Hall froze. Yeah. Alex, I don't believe Alex is going to freeze.
Alex, when it comes to striking, Pereira's the best. You have him by decision. I have Pereira winning too by decision. Second round. I'll say second round. I'll say second round knockout because
you don't believe that.
No, I actually believe that. Honestly, dude, this is why I believe it. If he's not the grappler that you think he is, no, I'm not.
It's okay to agree with me.
This man knocks out everybody in kickboxing.
He didn't knock out the last guy he fought.
Who was the last guy he fought?
Nobody.
He knocked out the previous 2 other guys. His debut.
He did not knock out the other guy, and you think he's gonna knock out the insane human being that is Sean Strickland?
His debut was a knockout. His second fight was a knockout. He knocks out everybody in kickboxing. He's a knockout.
He didn't knock out the last
He's a knockout artist.
He didn't knock out
so it's not like I'm saying he's a grappler that doesn't knock people out. He's a knockout artist, and I believe he's gonna knock out Strickland in the second round. My prediction: Alex Pereira.
Guys, Alex Pereira, but decision. Sean Strickland is not getting finished.
Yeah.
And especially by submission.
No, definitely not by submission.
By him, and so it has to be a knockout. Will Sean Strickland get knocked down? Probably.
Yeah.
Will Sean Strickland take Alex Pereira down? Probably.
He has to try to.
It will be a closely contested bout.
It'll be a good one.
But I also believe unanimously Strickland will win. Unanimously.
If he does, right?
He'll just outstrike him so much so that it's starting to wear on him. But moving on along, co-main event, guys. The featherweight trilogy will come to an end.
By the featherweight legends.
Well, will it come to an end?
If Volk wins,
it's a featherweight trilogy.
Yeah.
It's the ending of a featherweight trilogy. But
will
a
it
trilogy
come to
is
an
only a
end?
trilogy because there's 3 fights.
Yeah.
Guys, we have a matchup for the ages, and I know who Trinidad wants because it's his boy. It's his favorite fighter.
Boy, man.
I'm gonna have. Oh man. Well, first off, guys, it's between the champion Alexander Volkanovski.
Max Bless Holloway, let's go.
And I'm
wearing a Max Bless Holloway T-shirt. You see the Holloway on the back?
So you know what I'm talking about.
I ain't the logo.
But you agree that these are the 2 greatest featherweights of all time.
Of all time, people say Connor's up there or Aldo.
But
Connor,
who did these guys?
What did Connor do? He never defended his belt.
No. And who did he really beat except Mendez and Aldo?
He beat Max too. He beat Dustin.
Oh yeah, but
he ran through a lot of people. That's why he's in the conversation because he ran through everybody.
Oh well, Max is the only one we're talking about.
Dustin too. Dustin was
but Dustin was a terrible featherweight.
Yeah, still a name. Still a huge name.
Still.
Yeah.
Max lost to Dustin too.
Exactly. Twice.
Yeah. So,
submission.
Yeah, but Connor guys against Max of today.
Yeah.
Max, this brings us to tonight on how Max is going to have to win this fight. He has to finish. Volk.
And he's saying it already.
Will he?
Yeah.
You brought up a scary point when we were talking about this earlier.
Yep.
We've seen a lot of legends get finished lately. We saw Tony Ferguson, Joanna.
Mm-hmm.
So don't let it go to your head that
if you're searching for a finish, you could get finished.
If you really think that nobody can get finished.
Exactly.
Now, Max has pressure on him, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Max has more pressure than Volkanovski does, I guarantee you.
Of course, guaranteed.
And Volkanovski, he's feeling good.
If Volk wins, they're never going to fight again. It's the end of it.
It's the end of it. The end of the discussion.
Yep.
What does Max do? Well, I'll tell you what Volkanovski does if he beats Max again.
Yeah.
You move up.
Yeah.
Because the man is comfortable at it. He's comfortable at fighting at I would say he'd be even more comfortable fighting at 155.
And he has that reach. He still is going to have a reach advantage over the lightweights.
Oh, I'm sorry. And who would he potentially be facing for the championship belt? A former featherweight.
Yeah.
It's weird how it works like that.
Exactly. That Max beat already.
Guys, I'm going to have to go with Volkanovski.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with Volkanovski finish.
Volkanovski finish. That's a tough one.
And he's going to finish because Max is going to lay it on him on the first 2 rounds. And in the second or third round, Volkanovski is going to catch him. And I think Max has to stay patient, but...
Yeah, but when you're going for a finish and you're fighting for that finish,
Max has to stay patient, but Max has to realize that when he does hurt Volk, he needs to jump on him.
Mm-hmm. Because he hurt him in the second fight, and he was very patient.
And he should have jumped on him.
And I know he regretted being that patient when he hurt him.
He knows the cards aren't going to be in his favor. So
you got to gamble.
But you're being the Max fan. Who do you got?
Hey, man, I'm going to be biased here. This is my favorite fighter. If I do see Volk winning, I do see him finishing Max also. Like I was saying before, this is a statement fight. He's already fought this guy.
It's tough.
2 times. They're both going for the finish. And Volkanovski's pretty patient.
Volkanovski doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it. He just needs to win.
That's why more pressure's on Max.
More pressure's on Max. Max has gotten better. It's not like the last 2 fights are blowouts. He's dropped Volk before. He's been in there with Volk before. He's checked them leg kicks.
And Max, the fact is, Max shouldn't have to need this because he beat Cater. He beat fucking Yair Rodriguez.
But this is a legacy fight. He's gonna If he loses, he's gonna end up like DC. He's still gonna be a great, but he's just gonna be that guy who could never beat the best in the world.
You mean you could say, I only lost to the greatest?
To the greatest, yeah.
He lost to Conor McGregor, he lost to Poirier's, he lost to
Volkanovski's.
But if Max beats him,
they're gonna run it back. No,
they have to run it back.
They're gonna. If Max beats him, they're gonna run it back. If Volk beats Max, it's over. He's gonna just move up to lightweight.
Well, I know what Dana White hopes for.
Volk to beat him, you think?
Yeah. Put an end to it.
Yeah.
And that way you get to boost the careers of other guys coming up. Like you get your Arnold Allens.
You had Volk by what?
I had Volk by a finish. I can't say why not by. I'm gonna say second or third round.
I have Max by third round TKO.
Technical knockout.
Yeah, technical
I have
knockout.
a clear full-on knockout.
Clear full-on knockout.
Unfortunately.
I
don't want it.
It could happen.
I don't want it to happen. I don't want it to happen. So don't bet money on this fucking fight. Guys.
But Volk won 2 fights, so
guys, don't bet money on it. Don't bet money on this fight.
This is a tough one.
No. And we move to the main event.
The main event.
Short on time.
Yeah.
Here we go. The champion of the world, the middleweight champion, Israel Adesanya, the last
style bender.
Greatest middleweight that has ever lived versus the killer gorilla.
He's lapping dudes. He lapped dudes already. This is why he has to fight this guy.
No. He doesn't have to. He wants to.
He wants to.
He craves fresh blood.
Yeah.
And Adesanya versus the killer gorilla. People may be asking,
don't sleep on
is Jared Cannonier?
Don't sleep on that
I'll tell you who Jared Cannonier is. He's a veteran of the game.
Yep.
He's a man who's fought and competed at 3 different weight classes.
And had finishes in all 3 weight classes.
He's the man who is going to dethrone Israel Adesanya. The dark horse of the division, as he always said.
That is your prediction.
And my prediction is this, guys. I want you to think about this.
Yeah.
Jared Cannonier, who nobody will think is going to be the guy, is going to be the guy. And you know how Jared Cannonier is going to be the guy?
Yeah.
It's because of this. Volkanovski is so good because of the weight that he used to weigh and how strong he is.
Well, before you finish, I was going to say, if he gets a hold of Adesanya...
Vittori has a great ground game.
If he gets a hold of him...
has a great ground game. It was never about ground game to choking him out.
Mm-hmm.
Look what happened when Derek Brunson tried his shit on fucking Cannonier. Cannonier was strong enough to keep him off him.
Yeah.
And then when he got on him, Cannonier controlled the pace.
Cannonier's an athlete, dude. He's a specimen.
Cannonier fought at the weight class that Jan Blachowicz fought at. And he fought at the weight class Jan Blachowicz hasn't fought at.
Exactly.
He has the
like
power to do...
3 finishes in all weight classes. All 3 different weight classes.
Guys, I'm going with Cannonier. And I'm going with Cannonier...
That's a good...
by ground and pound TKO knockout.
Wearing on Izzy like Blachowicz did?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I will not disagree with that decision. That could happen. That really could happen. But Izzy being the precise striker that he is, and we see that he's so good at striking, but the man has great takedown defense.
Let's just say fighter IQ, guys.
Fighter IQ, yeah.
And his takedown defense, Izzy knows he's not the best grappler, but his plan... And what he doesn't work on his grappling as much as he works on making sure it doesn't get to that point.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is even more impressive.
And he's talking about he wants this fight to be like the Paulo Costa. He's going to go out there and just annihilate this dude.
Because that's the thing. If you put Izzy on his back, he has to waste energy getting up.
Exactly.
He makes you waste energy trying to take him down.
And he's like a spring, too.
All he's got to do is press down on your head when you're trying to take him down.
Exactly.
He's a tough, lanky motherfucker who actually weighs probably more than you would think.
Yeah, and Cannonier has to close that distance. He has to. He can't let there and sit and strike with Izzy.
Doesn't have arm length.
Yeah.
The man is... He does have the arm length.
But...
And he packs...
Even though he has the arm length, it's not good enough to sit there and strike and fight with Izzy.
We're going to find out, guys. Because Cannonier... I mean, people want to say he lost to Whitaker, right? And he did.
Yeah, he did.
But Whitaker didn't finish him.
You hurt Whitaker in that fight too.
You hurt Whitaker, but Whitaker took something away from him.
Broke right up top here.
If Izzy can do the same strategy that Whitaker did, maybe even better, Izzy could win this fight easily.
But let's see Cannonier's game plan, man. I'm not sleeping on Cannonier at all.
Who knows what his game plan is, guys?
I'm not sleeping on him at all.
Who knows what it is? Don't sleep on him. Don't bet on these 2 top fights.
But I do have Adesanya TKO 3rd round.
Alright, and I have Cannonier 4th round TKO. Grounded. And if it's even more of a, you want me to be very specific, is he's on his back when it happens. So.
Mm-hmm. It's just if he could hold him down, man. He has the strength to hold that motherfucker down.
Well, he did it too. Well, he did it Brunson.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
He is the killer gorilla, and he's looking to kill. Guys, this is going to be, if there's any fight cards so far, I would say, we were just given the best fight of all time. One of the best fight cards of all time.
Over to Shera.
I'm not going to see, I don't think we're going to see the greatest fight of all time on this fight card, but we are going to see one of the best fucking fight cards stacked.
Banger after banger after banger after banger.
If you're a UFC fan, buy this fucking card or go somewhere that has it. You cheap
Even
fuck.
If you can't buy it, you're gonna enjoy the prelims and the
just find
prelims.
a way to watch it, you cheap fuck. Anyway, this is your boy Sonny Black.
This is your boy Trinidad MMA, and we're out here.